Will I be switching to this as my new travel camera? Well, let's see. A lot of people ask me, what's the first real camera I should buy? And honestly, this is almost always the camera I recommend. The Sony ZV-E10, now on its second edition. But becoming my go-to travel camera, that's a different story. I work with companies that do their own marketing, their own social media, and they want to up the quality a little bit from their phone, and this is the camera that I always recommend they get. If that's you, this camera makes a ton of sense. At around $1,100, the Sony ZV-E10 is affordable, capable, and way more flexible than shooting everything on your phone. And if you're not ready to spend this kind of money on your first camera, I would say just stick with your phone. But if you're ready to level up, this is where I usually point people. Sony markets this camera as their vlogging camera, and you can feel that. The flip-out screen, the hot shoe, easy photo to video switching. It is built for creators. You also get access to the entire Sony E-mount lens system, which matters more than people realize. Because if you upgrade your gear later, you don't have to replace all your glass. This is a 26 megapixel aps-c camera, and with good light, the image that comes out of this can be on par with cameras that cost way more. Now, when it comes to my work, typically I don't use this camera, but I've been intrigued, especially when it comes to my travel work. Why? Because of the size. I mean, this thing is small, it is light, and when you're out there in the backcountry, you're looking to save ounces. And this thing doesn't just save me ounces, it'll save you pounds. So with that being said, I took this camera for a spin out into the Seven Devils wilderness, tested it out for 4 days, and this is an aps-c camera, which means it has a crop sensor. When you're working with huge mountains and wide landscapes, every millimeter matters. That 14 millimeter lens, you're not really getting 14 millimeters here. It's more like 21. It's still a great image, but for big, epic landscapes, that extra width can make quite a difference. This camera has what's called optical stabilization and not internal stabilization like these flagship Sony cameras. And I was genuinely surprised how much I felt the difference. Even simple movement, slow pan, small camera motion, the stabilization I'm used to just wasn't there anymore. But really, the deal breaker for me, why I probably will not use this as my travel or outdoor camera, is the fact that this thing is absolutely horrendous in low light. Astrophotography, no, not going to happen. Anything dimly lit, also no. The screen barely even works in low light. I was getting this weird purple mess trying to frame my star shots. This camera just isn't trying to be a low light wilderness focused camera. And that's okay. With real lighting, the right setup, this camera can produce an image on par with anything I own. But it's not forgiving. If you miss exposure, if your movement isn't clean, if light drops, you're going to feel it. If you're a creator who mostly shoots during the day, indoors with controlled light, or talking to camera, this is an easy yes. But for what I do, wilderness travel, low light, night shooting, this just isn't quite the right fit for me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.